All right, so we are heading out to the airport. It's gonna pick up my parents, actually. They went on a trip, so they needed a ride. So we're just gonna pick them up, and at the same time, we're gonna see how Beta reacts there. Not too sure how it'll work. It'll probably disengage, but I want to see it all up until the point of where it just can't do it anymore. And it's a good scenario, I guess, especially when Tesla's taxi services come in the future. How will it function, especially airports? That's where I would think it would be used quite often. But yeah, so here we are, just the regular stuff down the same roads. Excuse me. And we're on 10.12.2, and so far I've had this version for 3 weeks, a month from this video. So whenever it came out, it's been pretty good, way better, human-like reactions. So that's what I'm pretty happy about. Nice. So a lot of times that left turn that we just did usually has problems because it likes to go onto the second lane, third lane, or sometimes gets jittery if there's a vehicle turning left or in front of us on the opposite side. So that one was okay because we had the priority, but it's the first time I think getting that to function straight off the bat, very smooth. So I'm thinking the vehicle will actually, I was about to say, it notices that the cube van was going a little too slow, especially once the car was seeing that the middle lane was traveling far faster. It wanted to switch lanes. Previous build, it always wanted to be in the middle lane. I'm on the average setting for Beta, not on the aggressive. Double check that. Oh, I am on assertive, actually. My bad. So it will stay on the left lane as much as it can, and unless it's obviously traveling slower than the other lanes, but it's good. So it looks like the car wants to be a little safer and get in the right lane well ahead of time. In previous videos, you'll see when trying to get on the ramp to the highway, it jumps in pretty late, almost at the 300 meter mark, which is cutting it very close. This time it merged in at 1.5 kilometers away, which is normal. This is what I would actually do as a human. I'll prep myself up because this lane is always busy. People just want to get on the highway, so this lane is always going to be stacked up. So pretty smart. It gets in early so that it's ready to get into the ramp. Nice. And I noticed with this this update, this version, it closes the gap between the front car at a stop pretty quickly, or like close to human level. It closes that gap, and it really wants to keep that distance at a minimum, whatever you set it to. So pretty great. I actually appreciated that, because if it's like a green right now, sometimes in the previous versions it would take a while for it to even start moving. Right now, human level, right, it goes. And the car is far, it's about two car lengths, and now it's picking up a bit more to close it. Notices that it's a bit farther. It's a good return into the lane here. Previously it would be a bit jerky, but that was very smooth, especially with this update. And let's see if it sees the stop sign. That's not meant for us. Nice. Okay, so it saw it, it paused really quick, but then it realized, oh, that's not for us. So it just continues on. Good eye. That was actually pretty good. Before it would brake harder and actually almost come to a complete stop. So that was very good with the algorithm and how it determined that that stop sign wasn't for us. Here we are, we're just gonna get on the highway. Excuse me. Jeez. So right now we're just on the regular autopilot. Even this on the highway, it's updated pretty well. A lot smoother, but we've always known that. The highways version has always been very good. Oh wow. I don't know if you saw that and all, but there was a motorcycle visualization on the screen that I did not even see in front of me on the opposite side of the highway. And it picked it up, even though it's like all the way down there. So I'm very surprised at that. So if you've got a vehicle that's come into our range, we're gonna squeeze in here, and then we're gonna increase speed to match the left speed. And with this new update, it maxes out at 140 kilometers, which is actually pretty great. Before it was only 130, so now that goes to show that its thinking is faster and it's able to react to faster speeds, which is awesome. So, and it's apparent with all this stuff that that actually I've been driving around with. It really shows that this update has been a huge improvement, definitely. So now this is the true test. Previous versions, it would be jerky getting into the HOV lane. Oh, this one's smooth. Yeah, wow. Okay, that was very smooth. Wow, very good. Yeah, the previous versions would be jerky, like it would almost like going super fast and super sharp. This one was a smooth transition into the lane, and yeah, wow, good, nice. to take over really quick because the HOV lane is about to close its doors for the exit. And that's the one thing with a car is if it wants to be safe. So there always has to be a gap in the front and a gap in the back, a larger gap than, let's say, a regular human would interact with. Safety reasons, obviously, because if the car in the front were to brake, the car would have to react. So it needs that safe distance. So now we're just back in, and because we're going to take that ramp to the airport, to Toronto, and get to the airport. Yeah, sometimes the delay of, there's like a 1 or 2 second delay where when the car wants to swap lanes, it asks for your approval. And if you nudge it too early, it won't accept that approval until that 1 to 2 second period. It's almost like a grace period or a waiting period, just to make sure that you're actually checking that it's clear. I'm going to reduce the speed because we're hitting up a ramp, and we're going to be entering this ramp. Alright, so the car knew we were going too fast. It wants to take the ramp at 100 kilometers, so it dropped, even though my max setting was set to 120, it dropped it down to 100, 110 to 100, and then now it's down to full 100. Yeah, so it knows. So it wants to be safe, basically. So I'm going to tell it to get on the right lane because this lane that we were on does end. I don't want it merging at the last second, causing a disruption. So that is one thing also, is ending lanes. Yeah, so there's a delay there, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm going to increase speed because everyone does not drive the speed limit here. They drive plus 20, plus 30 even. So we just got to go with the flow of traffic. We're going to be entering one of the busiest mergers or swaps, essentially, because we want to go north on the ramp to get to the airport. And it's not too bad today because it is still the morning. So here we are. I've acknowledged the lane change. This is going to be a tricky... Ooh, there are major potholes out here. Alright. The car wanted to get in the left lane. So it slowed down a bit to just get behind this semi. Alright, so here we are, it's back to the beta. We're heading up Terminal 3, Pearson. So I'm doing the half screen just because I need to know where it actually wants to go and ensure that it actually goes that direction. So hopefully you can still see the left side. We are Terminal 3. It's doing pretty well. I mean, it's treating it like a regular road, which is actually pretty neat. The question really is, and it goes down to 33 because I think that's the legal speed limit here, but we all know no one goes 33. As weird as that is. Yeah, here it says 50 kilometers again, but people don't go 50. They actually go like 80. Very good. Even though we're supposed to want to go to arrivals, my parents actually ended up in departures because they decided to go get some food. So I'm seeing how this handles it, and it handles it pretty nice. A little too fast because we're kind of edging over, but now it's going to stop. It says, yeah, it was going to stop, but no, other than that, it's pretty good. No issues. Very nice. All right. And that concludes our little quick trip.